Nyan, Nine, Snehi Canoe.
What?
That means howdy, she rose in heroes in Malayalam, at least according to Dr. Raj. Well, let me start this video with a question. What's common to the things that you see on your screen? Bingo! You're absolutely right. These are things that occur quite naturally in loving, nurturing environments, like in families. For example, in families, there's no stigma attached to talking about your stress and your problems, just like it should be in a great EAP. Likewise, everyone pitches in to take care of children in the families. Family members are also allowed to personalize their space. Families also encourage everyone to showcase their talents, which can be sometimes agonizing for visitors. You'll remember that I had mentioned all the things on my list in earlier videos. I'm bringing them up again to make a point that an organization with an abundance culture feels like a family. So, by doing any of the things on this list, you would be fostering a climate of abundance. And because this list has 5 items on it, I would normally only talk about 3 things you could do for your coworkers. I think we're done here. Bye-bye. See you soon.
We want more.
Oh, what?
We want more.
Okay, fine, Raj. Dr. Raj insists that I need to talk to you about 3 more things that you can do for your coworkers to foster a culture of abundance. He says that that's what an abundance-minded person in my position would do. And you know what? He's right. And of course, I love y'all. You're like a family. So I'm going to offer you 3 more things you can do to foster a culture of abundance among your coworkers. The first thing you can do is promote equality among employees. Now, what does equality mean? It means that everyone is treated with the same level of respect and dignity, regardless of their position in the company. Here's Gary Ridge, a fantastic leader, speaking about what they do at his organization, WD-40.
For example, in our company, every office is the same size, 10 by 12. Why? Well, firstly, I don't need a bigger office, but why would I want to put that unnatural difference in place? We don't have specific car parking places. Why? Well, the benefit that the person would get from that is far, far eliminated from the message it sends people. I'm not worthy. No. If you want a good parking spot, come in early enough to get one.
As you just heard, at WD-40, everyone, regardless of position, gets the same size office. And if you want good parking, you'd better come early. So promoting equality is the first thing an organization can do. The second thing you can do is ensure that your external stakeholders, in particular your suppliers, are treated well. This is important because employees infer a lot about the company culture from seeing how the suppliers and the customers are treated. This is just like how children learn a lot about their family culture by looking at how parents treat their guests. When Alan Mulally took over as the CEO of Ford, the company was deeply in the red. It was losing $19 billion a year. So it would have been tempting to cut payments to suppliers. That's not what Alan did. He decided to treat his suppliers with the same level of dignity, which he would want his customers to treat Ford. And when Alan left Ford 13 years later, the average share price had jumped up an average of an incredible 1,800%. And even more incredibly, Alan had an approval rating of 98% from his employees. And by the way, this is a union company, the United Auto Workers. They loved Alan. A big reason for this astoundingly high approval rating is due to how Alan treated everyone, including the suppliers of Ford. The final thing you can do is create a culture of recognition, rather than recognize through just Employee of the Month awards. Here's Ron Friedman speaking about this very topic.
Yes, Employee of the Month awards don't always work and often backfire. And the reason for that, although these awards are very well intentioned, what ends up happening is it makes doing a good job feeling like a zero-sum game. So it's a competition between you against your fellow employees. And so recognition only gets to one person at the exclusion of everyone else. So you've got one employee of the month, and if you have 100 people, 99 losers who are not employee of the month. And so it sends a signal to them that, hey, your work this month was not appreciated. On top of that, if you've won it, now it becomes less likely that you're going to win it next time. And so your motivation, even though you just won it last month, is probably going to decline. And even if you have won it, a lot of times it's not clear whether you won it because you did something really great or because management needed to fill a slot. And so rather than pointing to one person and telling everyone else you didn't get it, better to create a culture of recognition that comes from person to person, not from top down. Recognition doesn't always have to come from the manager. It can come and can be sometimes more motivating when it comes from a colleague. And the way to do that as a leader is to model the right behaviors by recognizing people at meetings, recognizing people when you find them doing something well. And the more you do this, the more it tends to become mimicked by other employees in the organization, because people pay more attention to the leaders. And so if the leaders are doing the right things and acting in ways that people want to do the same in their own lives. And so really often what I talk about in the book is the idea that if you want to shift the culture, it's not about the mission statement, it's not about the things you hang up on your dining room or your lunchroom, rather it's the behavior of the people at the top. And recognition done right is one of those small things that doesn't cost anyone anything. It can really motivate a team.
So, as you just heard, it's better to recognize employees in a way that doesn't create a scarcity orientation, a sense that success is a zero-sum game. To summarize, these are three things that organization can do to improve the abundance culture. 1, create equality among employees. 2, treat external stakeholders, particularly your suppliers, well. And finally, create a culture of recognition that doesn't emphasize singling out one employee at the cost of everyone else. Well, my sheroes and heroes, we've arrived at the point where you and I are taking different paths now. You go on to have a fantastic career full of accomplishment and glory. As for me, I ride off into that glorious Texan sunset. But I'm confident we will meet again, sooner or later. Life is good.